In so many ways, I've always embraced the absurd, and I've been reading a book by Albert Camus, The Myth of Sisyphus, which explores the absurd and just life in general and how life, in so many respects, is absurd. The deranged for me is things that are not completely following a particular order. It's chaos, and a lot can be birthed out of chaos. There's the deranged, there's the uniformed. These are existences that are created out of absurdity, created out of something that's not followed by a particular pattern. And I've written poems over the years. I've talked about things that a lot of people might not understand because it's on another level, it's deep. That's what I've heard before. But I think all things in life are a bit complicated, and I kind of enjoy embracing poetry for that reason, because you can say something and it can mean various things. So I'm a remix of philosophy. I like to take what is said and add my own perspective, because I think we all have a perspective to offer. I'm drawn to the abstract. I'm drawn to methods that are not necessarily conventional, switching it up, narration, poetry, things that are a bit obscure and ambiguous. I'm all over the place, I know. But embracing that, accepting that, not trying to define it by a structure works just as well. But I'm also very big on order, and following a code where people can keep up. And I don't even know if all of what I'm saying gets through without kind of sounding like a bunch of mess. The absurd has meaning only insofar as it is not agreed to. If you agree on it, then it's not absurd. If you don't agree with it, then it is absurd. And I find it interesting. But anyway, I embrace the deranged because it's just as important as the uniformed. Things being in order, things being chaotic, I embrace both. I'm in the middle. By embracing the uniform and the deranged, there is the call to be who I am. And so I'm going to continually do that. And yet, by doing that more and more, I'm going to find meaning. Hopefully you will too, because it's not that deep. A lot of things in life is complicated. It's probably a bit more complicated than we like to believe. But the more we go with it, follow along, we can find meaning in it. Embracing the deranged is more than just doing unconventional things. It's a lifestyle. It's accepting that some things require specific order and calculation, while others require a bit of improvisation. Meaning can get muffled because trying to make sense out of absurdity is in itself absurd. Some things just don't make sense, but meaning can mean more than clarity. And the more I improvise, the more I decide on what to bring forth and what to mix up, the more I realize that remixing perspective and philosophy is my agenda. I enjoy it so much that I've been doing it for so long, and I plan on continually doing it. Changing it up, mixing it up, but also providing some sense of understanding so that it's not too ridiculous. Because when it's too ridiculous, then it's like, what are you saying again? There's a lot that goes through the mind. Fireflies and flashlights share the same destiny to lighten the darkness. The light gives spunk to the decaying void. We're all going through this void. It's a walk that requires various stumbles and on purposes. We can't call these accidents, because if you want to walk through the night, best believe you will hit or step on something. If it's mushy and squishy, yuck. Stepping into something wet means something nasty or funky, depending on your consistency. Whether traveling or standing still, whichever is the most convenient for the day, nothing ever changes that fast. Evolution takes time, a long time. If we could count and calculate the number of moments that we have, we wouldn't just even be here, which is why we are encouraged to sway according to the flow, always considering that at any time it can be passed away, and it will be passed away. In fact, when it's passed away, what can be learned from it?
You can't go nowhere if you see seven. Oh.
It's button therapy, baby.